Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. No sunrise again this morning. I don't think it's quite as bad as yesterday morning, but it's not very, it's kind of gloomy out there. Anyway, we forgot to check the bird feeder yesterday. Let's make a point of checking it today. All right. Last night I had this thing sitting in front of my fan in the kitchen with the heat on low, and it was just, I don't mind running my little electric heater in the wintertime because every BTU that it puts out is one less BTU that my furnace has to put out, so I'm not really losing a whole lot. Although I think my gas furnace is a lot more heat efficient than than electric heat in a way. Although electric heat, every single, you might say, BTU that it generates, it stays in your house. Whereas even with a high efficiency furnace, a little bit goes out the chimney. Or in my case, it doesn't really go out the chimney, it goes out the side of the house. I guess that's sort of a chimney. Anyway, that's the way they work now. Now, what we want to do today is I have reconsidered about these little doors. And I forget who it was. I think it was UK Jason maybe made the remark that it would be a shame to not attempt the doors open so that you could see the propellers sticking out the back. So I'm going to just try one. I think maybe I can do it, and if I'm careful, I won't break them off. I mean, why can't I be careful, you know? Well, I know why I can't be careful. Those of you who watched me build the Bismarck, the Rodney, the Hood, you know I was forever accidentally breaking off little delicate pieces. Yeah, I think I did pretty good with the Iowa. Yeah, I think, I don't remember snapping anything. Oh yeah, I think I did. Can't remember what it was now. Anyway, it was all fixable, right? Okay, we are going to have to repaint here. That looks terrible, and I know you probably can't see it from your point of view there, but we got a lot of messy glue going on there, so that's got to be repainted. Even though when we view this part, I'll just turn it the way we're going to sort of view it. It'll be going in this direction, and we'll be viewing it at a very acute angle, and we won't really be able to look down on it because the deck, why could I not think of the word deck yesterday? The deck will be just right over top of this, and you'll just sort of see it you'll just almost know it's there rather than see it. But I want to paint that. I'll just brush it on. It's not going to be as good as the airbrush did, and also, well, fortunately, because it's going to be a flat paint, we're not going to notice the fact that where the glue is sort of dripped on, it's going to be a little bit more raised on that surface, but I find that a flat paint seems to really cover that those sort of mistakes pretty good. Whereas a gloss paint, you're going to see the reflection changing. Anyway, let's just get going here. Let's get our paint. I forget which number it is, but I'll figure it out. And see if we can't just sort of touch that up just a little bit. And then we'll give, we'll turn the page here because I believe we're about as done step 4 as we can get. So we'll do another. See, we're in step 5 here. Yeah, we're doing one that we should be able to have the door open on, I would think. Well, let's give it a try. If it doesn't work, I can always, glue it on. The same way I did this one. Okay, let's get at it. Now, wasn't that a nice coincidence? Dawn and Bridget came walking by just as I was showing that scene. Yeah, sometimes things work out nice and sometimes they don't. Okay, now I have already eaten 2 of Arlene's muffins. And I apologize for not doing it on camera because I know how much you like to watch me eat and hear me chew. Okay, I have what you might call a love-hate relationship with this Mr. Hobby paint. What I do like about it is it seems to be really good quality paint from a paint standpoint. Like, it doesn't seem to, it sticks to stuff really, really well. But what I don't like about it is the ease of cleanup. For instance, Windex does not seem to dissolve it quite as quickly as Windex will dissolve the Tamiya XF paints. Now, the reason I know that is because a couple of times I've tried to clean it up. Like, I just cleaned up around the edge of this, and then I put the lid back on again. Okay, the other thing that I'm noticing that is, I shook this up probably about maybe 7 minutes ago. And what happens is, inside the paint, you can't really see it, but you really notice it sometimes when you're painting, it has little tiny micro bubbles that seem to not come up to the surface. Whereas I don't recall that sort of thing happening as much with the Tamiya paints. Okay, now we're only going to want to paint this where it's going to be seen. Obviously what's going to happen now is there's going to be a huge color change because this will be wet, whereas what's on there now is dry. But I'm hoping that it's going to sort of blend in, and I'm only just going to do just where we're seeing here, just sort of cover up the glint. Now don't go down into the dark. Now, all being well, this is going to sort of shrink wrap itself around any of the details that I'm covering up there. I may have to do 2 coats. Now we're not going to be looking down into the crack here. We're only going to be seeing it from the edge. Okay, I'm going to let that dry and just give it another coat. I think it'll go okay. The second coat should cover up the blotchiness. I'm hoping anyway. All right, let's clean my little brush up here and get our lid back on. Yeah, I don't know if I would buy this Mr. Hobby again. Maybe because I'm lazy and I like the idea that the Tamiya is so easy to clean up. Now, why won't this lid go on? Oh, there we go. All right. Okay. Step 5. It looks a lot like step 4, doesn't it? I have to make another one of these things, only it's probably, I would think it might be slightly different than the other one we made here. Well, it looks the same to me. Okay, well, whatever. And now we were going to try and have a door open, weren't we? Okay, this we are making. Oh, wait a minute. This is still part A. We're not making another one of these. We're still working on A. Well, I guess we can't make one with an open door. Well, maybe that's going to be. Okay, step 7. We make one that we can probably have the door open. Okay, so we got to continue on here. I guess step 5 has us putting these parts together. That's why it looked the same. Or is it? Anyway, no, it wouldn't be the same. They wouldn't have us making another one that's already been stuck on here. So this one here, number 6, is clearly to be used on the tube that we're going to be making in 7. I'll get it right yet, maybe. Okay, so we have this orientated like this. We have to get some more parts. Not only does this piece get put on like this, this is going to be interesting. I think there doesn't seem to be any mounting holes or anything here for this to go on like this. Okay, so the door goes like that, and then this sort of just fits on. Oh yeah, yeah, sure. Here, there you go. You can see this little part right here. Okay, it fits something like this, and then we just have to get the rotation correct. Maybe possibly this part right here has something to do with it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I think I've got that wrong. Okay, this goes. Yeah, there does not seem to be any way that this sort of locks into place. I guess it would be a case of you would have to have it so that this hinge is yeah, this doesn't want to lock in place where I thought it should lock. Okay, it should be like that, but there's doesn't seem to be anything happening there, unless maybe right there is that supposed to? Anyway, this part here should be like 90 degrees, I think, to everything else, something like that. But that's I'll take a close look at it off camera. Okay, I think that in all likelihood, after we get the G5, the G7, and the Z or Z27 mounted in place, then we'll be able to better see how this sort of locks into place. Okay, it says install first. Well, I guess they mean install this first before you stick this on. Yeah, it makes sense. So we got 1, 2, 3 pieces to find. Okay, we need a G7 and a G5. But if you'll notice, there are 4 of each one of these things here. And we are going to have to make up 4 of these tubes. So I think I'll be doing the one tube on camera, and then because the other 3 are going to be almost identical, I'm going to maybe do them off camera. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of our G5s here, and also the 7s, and I'll just keep them separate in a tuna fish tin. Yeah, we'll trim these up after. But notice what we've got going on here. This is a very nicely detailed panel. I can't remember if this one requires a piece of a decal or not, but I'm going to make a better attempt if it requires a decal to get the decal to lay on it properly. I think I saw this decal, and it is all one piece. I think we'll have less trouble with it, but I don't think we're going to need that for a few days. Okay, for our Z27 here, there is 6 Z sprues, but there's only 127 on each one. We only need 4 of these things. So yeah, let's I'm just going to dig out the other 3 and just quickly nip them off here. Okay, I just paged ahead and I stand corrected here. I don't know why, but the next tube we make after this one requires an F28. Now I was looking at the 27 here that we just picked up, zip nipped off the Z27, and to me it looks the same, but maybe the length is different or something. I don't know. Okay, so I won't nip off the others right now because I'll probably get them mixed up. Okay, in order to know the answer to that question, a person would have had to watch pretty much every episode for the last 2 years. Because it was about 2 years ago that our friend Gabe, the painter, sent me a package of these swabs and told me how good they are for absorbing little tiny spills and what have you, and can actually be used in some instances as a paintbrush. Okay, so when I got these, I was thinking, what am I going to put them in? So I got this mustard container here, and I put them on the inside, and I've got a hole drilled, and the idea is that if I position everything just right, I can sort of, well, it's probably not going to work now because the camera's running, but see, I can just sort of shake them out like that, and for the most part it works pretty good. And anyway, that's what this is all about. I've actually been asked this several times, so don't feel bad about asking and not knowing. Okay, that's the answer to that question. Earlier this morning, I had to go out and run an errand, and the streets are quite wet, quite sloppy. Now, usually here in Winnipeg this time of year, it's much colder. It might possibly have this little snow, but usually the streets aren't wet like they are right now. Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be like this Christmas Day, because I kind of got to go someplace Christmas Day. So, yeah, I don't mind my car getting dirty as long as I can get out, and I can't get out if there's a blizzard going on. So I'll take this to a blizzard any day. Now, I don't know how much glue it was that ran through and down through and to the bottom of the tray, but these torpedoes have glued themselves to this part. I'm not going to try it for strength. All we need is for it to, basically stay in place until after we get everything assembled. This entire forward torpedo module, I think, also includes this, the deck, and then several other pieces. A bulkhead on this end, a bulkhead on this end, and I do believe we're going to be mounting the torpedo mechanism in here. This whole piece is probably going to be almost twice as long as what you see it. So anyway, we are dry here for our first coat. Let's just get our second coat on. And as I mentioned earlier, there's not a whole lot of this is going to be seen. So now these glue things are not covering as well as I thought they would. I thought they'd cover a lot better than that. If I'd have known it was not going to paint up as good as I thought it was, I would have been a little bit maybe more careful. I might have used a hypodermic needle to apply the glue in the crack instead of trying to just drop it in. Now where I'm painting down in the crack, it's just not going to be seen. But where I'm painting right now probably will be. Okay, well, could possibly use a little bit more right here. Now hopefully that's going to dry in such a way that we're not going to see it, and I think it probably will. I know it looks pretty bad, but I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother painting right here because you know, we're not going to see there anyway. So why am I doing it, right? Okay, let's let that dry and think of something else to do here yet this afternoon. What time we got here? It's about 11 minutes after 1 already. Yeah, time is marching on. Oh, those poor birdies. They could see the seeds, but the seeds would not come down. Oh, that's sad. I feel bad. I feel really bad. I should have come out here sooner. Okay, that should work. That should work. I guess in my haste to get out there and look after the bird feeder, I forgot to clean the paintbrush, so this is kind of hard. I'll let you know tomorrow how well it cleans up. There wouldn't have been a problem with the Tamiya. No, the Windex, it would have just almost instantly dissolved it. So maybe what I'll do is that'll be tomorrow's rollback. Yeah. Sure. Okay, I'm going to call her quits here for today, folks. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.